Have you ever been in a meeting or maybe at a family dinner and you just felt like there were all these invisible forces at play? These undercurrents shaping everything that's said and, more importantly, what's left unsaid? Well, you're not wrong. Those forces are real, and today we're going to dive into what they are, the fundamental laws of human nature. This quote really gets to the heart of it. We're not here to talk about being good or evil. We're talking about power as, well, as a tool. It's a fundamental part of how we interact. Think of it less like a moral code and more like, say, the laws of gravity. You don't have to like gravity, but you definitely need to understand how it works to get by. You see, our social and professional lives are basically governed by these unspoken rules. It's like there's this huge, invisible game being played all around us, all the time. And to really succeed, or sometimes just to protect yourself, you've got to know the rules of that game. I love this analogy. It's just perfect. A doctor has to study how a healthy body works, that's the physiology, and also how things go wrong, how disease works, the pathology. It's the same with power. The dynamics themselves aren't good or bad, they just are. Our goal is simply to understand how the whole system is put together. Now, the person most famous for trying to map all of this out is Robert Greene. You've probably heard of his book, The 48 Laws of Power. It's definitely controversial, but man, it offers a really clear, if sometimes harsh, look at how social influence actually works. And the way Greene builds his arguments is pretty methodical. He starts with a short, punchy rule, the aphorism, something you'll remember. Then he pulls you in with a fascinating story from history. After that, he breaks down the psychology of why it works and wraps it all up in this philosophy of just looking at the world as it is, not as we wish it would be. It's a pretty powerful formula. Okay, so this all sounds a little abstract, right? Let's bring it down to earth. We're going to walk through 3 of Greene's laws that I guarantee you've seen in action, whether you realized it or not. First step, a true classic, especially in the workplace. This isn't about sucking up or being fake. It's about understanding that the people in charge have egos and insecurities just like everyone else. The idea is simple. If you make your boss look good, you become an asset. But if you make them feel threatened, you become a target. And if you want a cautionary tale, look no further than this guy, Nicolas Fouquet. He was the finance minister for King Louis XIV of France. To show his loyalty, he threw the most spectacular party anyone had ever seen to honor the king. But it was too good. The king showed up, and instead of feeling honored, he felt insecure. He felt outshone. He saw Fouquet's wealth and taste as a direct threat. Soon after that amazing party, Fouquet was thrown in prison, where he stayed for the rest of his life. So here's the kicker. Fouquet's intentions were probably good. It didn't matter. This law taps into something really primal about social status. When you make a superior feel insecure, their reaction isn't going to be logical. It's going to be driven by fear and resentment. And that is a powerful, powerful cocktail. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This law is all about showing, not telling. You can be the most brilliant debater in the world, but at the end of the day, talk is cheap. It's what you do that really moves the needle. Think about it. When you argue with someone, you're basically attacking their intelligence. And what do people do when they feel attacked? They get defensive. They dig their heels in, even if they know you're right. But when you achieve something, when you deliver a real result, well, that bypasses the whole argument. It's a fact. It's undeniable. So the real takeaway is that true power isn't about winning arguments. It's about creating outcomes that speak for themselves. Your success becomes the argument, and it's an argument that nobody can really fight against. Now for our third example, and this one is a masterclass in pure strategy. It's all about the incredible power you get from keeping people guessing about what you're really up to. The absolute master of this was Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor who unified Germany. He had this grand vision, but he never told anyone what it was. Instead, he'd make all these moves that seemed random or even contradictory. He kept all his rivals completely off balance. By the time they finally figured out what his true goal was, it was too late. The game was already over. You see, the strategic genius here is that if people don't know what you're actually trying to achieve, they can't effectively stop you. That element of surprise, that unpredictability, gives you a massive advantage. You can guide events without anyone even realizing they're being led. Okay, so we've looked at these external power dynamics, but this raises a huge question. Is this it?
Is the ultimate goal in life just to get better at playing this game of power over other people? Greene would argue no, there's another, much more important game to play. And this is where we get to the idea of mastery. This is a path that completely shifts the focus. It's not about social dominance anymore. It's about a deep, internal kind of power, becoming truly excellent at something. It's about conquering a craft, not conquering people. And he lays out a really clear path for this. You start by finding what he calls your calling, that thing you are uniquely drawn to as a kid. Then you enter a period of intense learning, an apprenticeship where it's all about discipline. Along the way, you find a mentor to guide you, and eventually, after thousands of hours, you reach a state of intuitive brilliance that we call mastery. And this right here, this is the most important part. While the laws of power are about positioning yourself in the world, mastery is about changing who you are on the inside. An apprenticeship isn't just a job you do for a paycheck. It's a process of fundamentally rewiring your brain. You're building skills, sure, but you're also building character. And that is a kind of power that no one can ever take away from you. So this brings us to the big debate that always comes up with Greene's work. Are these laws just a cynical handbook on how to manipulate people, or are they simply a mirror showing us the world as it really is, whether we like it or not? And you can really see the two sides here. The mirror argument says, look, Greene is just a reporter. He's describing patterns that have existed for thousands of years. Knowing them is just self-defense. Then you have the manual argument, which says that the book is basically a toolkit for bad behavior. Honestly, where you land on this probably says more about you than it does about the book itself. Which brings us right back to that first idea and the final, most important question. If power is just a tool, like a hammer that can build a house or tear one down, then the responsibility for how it's used falls on the person holding it. It falls on you. You can use this knowledge to defend yourself, to achieve incredible things, or to manipulate others. So how will you choose to wield it?